Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Super Monday session. Thanks for joining us today. This is Beril. I'm a publishing manager at Supersonic, and I'm here today again to introduce an amazing promotion that is soon going to be live on our platform, which is Follow the Formula. Until today, we try to come up with ideas of promotion and competition to give you huge cash bonuses and in terms of ideation, general guidance. However, this time we're here with something more special. We will ask you to follow our formula and come up with your next prototype. Formulas will be introduced to you soon. And if you decide to follow the formula, you'll be incentivized during the publishing funnel, which starts from prototyping until you publish the game. If that sounds interesting to you, you're in the right place because we will be giving you the formula for your next hit soon. So let's quickly go over our agenda. In the first half, we'll be introducing you the Follow the Formula promotion. What's the promotion? What is the formula? Why is it more special than the other ones? And we're going to introduce your bonuses, and we're going to go over our timeline. In the second half, our market research analyst, Ron, will give you a small evolution of hyper-casual games in the last few years. Then he'll give you tips and examples of formulas that you guys can start working on your prototypes from today. Last but not least, we're going to finish it out with our Q&A session. So please leave all of your questions down below. We'll be answering all of them at the end of our session. So this time we're here with something more special. You can win prizes at each stage of publishing and even more when you follow our formulas. After each competition, we try to take evaluation, how the promotion went, was it successful, what we can put more on top of it. Aside from that, getting feedback from our developers is extremely helpful for us to come up with our next ideas, to see things through a game developer's eyes. That's why this time we're here with our formulas to help you, to give you some help in terms of ideation and incentivize you during publishing your game in each step of publishing funnel. So how does it work? Basically, we're going to be supporting you at every step of publishing. As you know, everything starts with prototyping. You come up with an idea, you submit to our platform, immediately you'll receive a payment per prototype. Then if the game shows potential, we'll be moving to the second stage, which is iterating. We'll be starting working on your prototype. You'll be receiving monthly payment per iteration. Plus, if you reach the KPIs, you'll be eligible for a bonus. The last but not least, we'll be publishing. Hopefully, we're going to come up to there. This is why we're here for, and you'll be eligible for a minimum guarantee. So let's start with the first part of our prizes, which will be getting paid for every prototype tested. If you test your game during our promotion period and follow our formula, which will be the right decision, you'll be eligible for the $500 payment immediately. If you decide to take part in the promotion but not use our formula, then you'll be eligible for the $200 payment. And this time we're going to ask you to test maximum of 5 games. This doesn't mean that you need to test 5. It's just a maximum amount. And the main reason behind is that we don't want to test as much as possible, but we want to make sure that we focus on the right prototypes. The market has evolved, and we're not only looking for a marketable concept, but strong prototypes, strong ideas that will lead us to high LTV games. So please keep this in mind and submit your games wisely. And the next part will be supporting you during iteration and publishing your game. So once you test your game on our platform and it shows potential, we'll be moving to iteration phase, which means that an exciting journey will start. You'll meet with the rest of the Supersonic family. A Slack channel will be opened. A game designer will be assigned. You'll be meeting with our motion design team. And on the platform, you're going to see that your game status will change from initial test to iterations. This means that if your game was testing during the promotion period, you'll be eligible for the $2,000 payment per iteration for your game, which means that as long as you work on the game, every month you'll be receiving this amount to work on your game. Aside and on top of that, we're going to have one-time bonus for you if you use the formula in your game and your game reaches the full marketability score of 3 and above with day 1 retention 30 and above. You're going to be eligible for the $10,000 payment. Please keep this in mind that it's aside of our payment per iteration. And the main reason why we're trying to support you with a payment per iterations and one-time bonus is that once you start working on the game, it means that the game shows potential. And we really want to make sure that you put your efficiency on this game and maximize your efficiency in the game. And we don't really want you to fear about any financial issues or submit more games in order to receive payment per prototype. Supersonic is here to support you in all aspects. And of course, the last part of our publishing funnel will be publishing your game, hopefully. Once we go to global launch successfully, you'll be eligible to receive the minimum guarantee of $200,000, which means that you'll be receiving this amount. And once your profit share goes above this amount, you'll be receiving your profit share regularly each month. And we're in the heart of the promotion right now, which is revealing the secret formula for a high LTV game. Here we'll be offering you several different formulas, and you're more than welcome to pick the most suitable and comfortable one that will work for your idea and concept. Here we have 4 different genres that we're going to be offering you, which will be runner, shooter, puzzle, and idle. And we'll ask you to pick one of these genres and match with one of our mechanics, which will be either assembling or merge, or you can go one step further and use both mechanics in your game. And by making the right match of the genre and combining with the right mechanic, it will be equal to a profitable game. Our main aim is here to come up with high LTV games. That's why once you come up with a right idea, concept, and match with the right genre and add the right mechanic, we'll make sure that we can create progression in your game, we can create in-depth, and it will be a pretty strong prototype. As Supersonic, we publish several games by using this formula. Besides that, you can see many on the top charts, been there for a while. So it's definitely worth trying. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next one having the top chart game by using our formula. And of course, our resources and tools, we're always here to support you while you work on your prototypes and make sure that it will help you to come up with better ideas. The first will be our ideation kit. It's already live on our website. Soon you'll be able to see it on our landing page too. Here it will help you by using this kit. You'll be able to come up with marketable ideas. You will make sure that where to fall off to come up to make sure that you're on top of market trends and find different ideas and interesting ideas from different resources. The second will be our guide on best practices. I strongly urge you to take a look at this because if you decide to follow the formula, it will help you a lot. We'll be sharing many different examples there that actually use the formula and made success getting a high LTV game. There you'll be able to see the background and the idea of how to use the combination of the merge, the mechanic and the genre. And you can see how this actually contributes to the LTV of the game. So it's definitely worth checking. Third, but not least, will be our Learn Hub. It's always live on our website. There's many resources that you can take a look. We have our previous Super Monday session, blog posts, case studies, tips for your creatives, your prototypes, and many more. So it's definitely worth checking before you actually start on your prototypes. And as a bonus, soon our market research analyst, Ron, will be giving us tips and examples of these formulas so you guys can start working on your prototypes from today. And of course, our timeline. Today on this Super Monday session, June 19th, we're introducing you Fall of the Formula contest, revealing the formula. And soon we're going to give you all the tips and examples how you actually can use these ones and integrate your prototype. So you guys can start working from today. 2 weeks from now on July 3rd, our Fall of the Formula competition will begin and will stay for exact a month until August 3rd. Please make sure that you submit your game during this month. After that, we'll allow you to we'll be giving you 2 extra weeks where you guys can start work on your creatives, make sure that you integrate your SDKs and turn your test live until August 17th. And please keep in mind that your test goes live until this date. In order to be eligible for the payment per prototype, iteration, and minimum guarantee, it needs to be live. Overall, you can see that there's plenty of time until our testing period starts. So if you start working on your prototypes today, you have over 2 months to turn them live. So please take your time, make sure that you focus on the right ideas, take your time on the ideation process, and come up with strong prototypes. As I mentioned earlier, we don't want to just test as much as possible, but we want to focus on the right and strong prototypes. And we're pretty confident if you follow us, our guides, and of course, follow the formula, you'll be able to come up with a strong hit. And that's it from me, guys. Good luck. We're excited to see your prototypes on our platform soon and hopefully on top charts. And soon Uri will give us a detailed presentation on tips and examples for the formulas.
Thank you, Beril. My name is Uri Ron, and I'm a market research expert here at Supersonic. And today we'll talk about why do we offer a formula. So for that, we need to go back to hyper-casual in 2018. This is an example for Helix Jump. It was the #1 download game in hyper-casual 5 years ago. And this was a time where gameplay was just enough. Like you finish one level, then you start immediately the next level, which is kind of like the same level, but you just try to improve your high score. Maybe it will be a little bit more difficult, but this was a case where gameplay was enough. You didn't need anything besides the gameplay, but now we talk about the hyper-casual market. It's changing, it's evolving. So this means that gameplay alone is just not enough anymore. So we need to think about something that happens pre-level, before the level starts, something that happens once the level ends. So only gameplay, it's going to be very hard to survive in this hyper-casual nowadays. So pre-level, we talked about assembling and merging. Those are two parts of the formula that are now trending, and this is why we will show them a few examples now. And we talk about benchmarks. Again, if we have only gameplay, we have some submission for only gameplay, then we can expect day one of around 15% retention. Playtime, day 0 can be 500 seconds. Again, there are some exceptions. Some games that do better, but then for that, we need a very low CPI in order to continue with iterations because we don't have a strong enough KPIs. But then if we start doing a gameplay plus a pre-level, assembling, merging, or something else, then we can expect higher retention. Day 1 can be 30%, playtime can be much higher. And even with OK CPI, we can go to iterations because we have like a better starting point on the KPI side. So again, both of them works, but we kind of prefer, because we check marketability very early, we check the iron source, the TikTok, and we also want to see the KPIs very early in order to know what to expect with this prototype. Again, so we talked about hyper-casual 5 years ago, gameplay was enough. But 2 or 3 years ago, we noticed more upgrade layers. So this is a very simple default layer in hyper-casual. You finish a level, you earn different coins, and then you go back to the lobby, you upgrade different abilities. And this is the game loop of the game, earn coins, finish levels, go and upgrade abilities. And this was like super trending. It still is in the past 2 or 3 years. It's not very meaningful upgrade, but it's just like giving you a break from gameplay, tap to upgrade, and then continue to the next level. And this kind of evolved in the past year with 2 strong games. One is Bucket Crusher by Voodoo, and the other one is a Tech Hall by Oma. Again, similar upgrades, but here upgrades are much more meaningful. It's what we mean meaningful is that it's okay to fail. Fail is part of the game, but again, it will take you 10 minutes to complete each level, but you upgrade very often. So it's like finish a level, fail, and have another attempt, but always upgrading in the middle. So it's like longer 10 levels, but each attempt is like up to 1 minute. So this is the idea here. Where upgrades are very important, big part of the game loop. And we talked about assembling and merging. So upgrade was popular until now. It still works, it's still trending, but the formula is focusing on assembling and merging. So let's see a few examples of assembling. You can see merge animals by Say Games. It's a runner plus assemble. You have a character, you need to assemble the different animals in order to have them ready for the runner part. And the other game, Shoot Factor by Voodoo, an older game. Again, a shooter plus assembling. Each level, you finish the level, then you earn coins and you upgrade your gun. It's getting better with leveling up. And then you assemble your gun each time every level, and then you play again, back to the assembling part. So this is kind of creating a very basic game loop that we talked about the pre-level and why it's important. So those are 2 great examples for assembling. Merge is also super trending in hyper-casual in the past 2 or 3 years, and we have 2 examples here. So first one is runner plus merge, merge bullet game. Again, you need to merge the different bullets. This is how you level up. You unlock new type of bullets, and then you go to the runner part. So this is the merge bullet game. The other game, merge archers by Azure, a great game as well. You merge different soldiers, and then you level them up, and then you go to the shooter part. So again, we talked about gameplay is not enough. So this is a kind of very engaging merge pre-level layer. Very simple, very engaging. which can guarantee like higher retention and higher playtime. Moving on to two more merge examples. So merge with puzzle, merge art puzzle by Voodoo, a new game. Again, this is a case where you merge different items and then get them to the picture, to the art. Another great example is Golden Goblins. It's more of a casual game. It's an idle plus merge. So idle is usually tap to upgrade, and then there is the merge layer in the bottom where you merge the different goblins to level them up and be much more better. So again, merge doesn't have to be alone. It can be alongside another mechanic. But again, it's great examples of puzzle and idle games that also involve merge in the gameplay. And those are two also great examples for merge games that did very well in the past year. We published Merge Miner, which is a merge where merge is the main part of the game. You merge different items and then you drop them and see what happens. It's similar to a Merge Master by Homa Games. You merge different items and dragons, and then you start the fight and just watch the screen, similar to Merge Miner. So here the game loop is that you merge items, you tap one button, you earn coins, then you merge again, you unlock new items all the time. So this is another example where merge is a very big part of the game and works very well in those two games. We talked about merge and assembling that are part of the formula, but here you can see an example of a different pre-level engagement. This game is MatchKind 3D. This one uses Match 3D. Match 3D was a top hybrid casual puzzle game 3 years ago. It's like using the same match guns in order to have them for the runner. So it's a very engaging pre-level layer that is not merging or assembling, but this is also interesting as well. And if we sum up why merging and assembling work, again, you can see example for Merge Miner. It gives a great progression. You level up different items, you unlock items all the time. Once you merge two similar items, you unlock the next one. It's a great place for RV and in-app. You worked very hard to unlock one new tool, and then you get an offer to get a few tools after watching an RV. It also provides a great short break from gameplay. If we have a runner, instead of, we talked about gameplay is not enough, instead of starting another level of runner, then you have this pre-level engagement of merging or assembling or something very engaging. And we also talk about another mechanic. So some games will have two mechanics, merge and click, merge and tap, merge and swerving. So it's always good to have two mechanics and not one in the gameplay. And all of this is big part of the big picture. We've seen hyper casual in the past year. It's longer levels, longer goal. It's not only about 30 seconds level and an ad. It's more of like 5 minutes to complete one level, but you always have upgrades and engaging layer every 30 seconds or every 1 minute. So this is part of the bigger picture. We saw it on Bucket Crusher, on Attack All, and even in Traffic Jam that we publish. In order to complete one map, it's like, it's going to take you a few minutes, but all the time you're upgrading, you are leveling up, you're getting much better. So those are our tips for follow the formula, merging, assembling. Now we will go for a Q&A. And thank you and good luck in this competition.
Hi guys. Now we'll be answering some of your questions. Let's start with the first one. How do we know if the game is approved as part of the formula or not? When you're submitting your game, if you clicked on, yes, I want to be part of the follow the formula contest, your game will be part of the promotion. And you will be receiving an email saying that on the platform, you will see if the game is under formula or not. You will see under the promotion tab.
Yeah, hi everyone. Another question we had is the quiz apps games, are they hot or not? Not really. Again, if you look at top charts now, you will see mainly runners, some puzzle games, IO games are always relevant. So again, look at top charts, look what's trending, what's new in top charts, what's holding in top charts. I mean, we do have like sometimes a quiz app, a quiz game, but again, runners are strong, IO games are strong, puzzle games are strong. Attack All is strong on top. So like notice the top charts and see what's trending now. And this is going to help you to focus on relevant categories.
I think you have one more.
Which one?
This one.
Yeah, does merge mechanic refer to merging two mechanics, or does it involve actual merging as part of the gameplay? So yeah, we talked about actual merging as part of the gameplay, as was in Merge Miners and other merge games. When merge is a simple mechanic that is part of the gameplay. So again, it can be few mechanics, as we said. It can be a runner with swerving, and then the pre-level is merging. But again, merging refers to merging as a mechanic.
So another question is, we're pretty full with other projects. If we submit this starting in September, can it be possible? In order to be eligible for the prizes, unfortunately, it needs to be submitted during the promotion time, which is from July till August. Unfortunately, it won't be under any game that will be submitted afterwards, won't be eligible for the prizes. Can any game be tested? Will any games be rejected? Of course, we're trying to find the best game. That's why we will be that's why we're saying, please don't submit as much as possible, but try to focus on higher quality games. We will try to give the option to higher potential games. That's it. What else? Will you share this presentation for watching later? Yes, it will be shared on our platform, also on our website.
There was also a question about what is a good CPI. There was a slide there about good CPI and very low CPI. So again, this is something we check very early, the marketability score. So again, anything below 50 cents can work, like to test TikTok, to test iron source as well. But the main slide, the objective was to show that, again, you can submit a simple game without the merging layer, without anything, and maybe expect a very low CPI in order to continue with it. But once you submit a merge layer or another assemble layer, and you would expect higher playtime and retention. That means that the CPI even above 50 cents sometimes can work, because you will have like a much stronger KPI. So the idea is that this is why we're pushing this formula, because we want to start with a good CPI, but also better KPIs at the beginning.
There's a nice one, your favorite.
No, it's not relevant. Let's see, any questions?
This one.
Yeah, what is the biggest focus for CPI creatives with merge games? What should people focus on? So usually when we show the merge layer or another like puzzle layer, for example, usually we will expect a higher CPI, because you know how most of you know how to create a good creative, and once we saw a merge layer, something that is people don't understand it, it takes them 5 seconds to understand what happens, then it's not good enough. So if you have a merge layer and another layer, for example, a runner or a shooter, maybe will be better much to show the other layer and not the merge layer. And again, we can help you while you submit the game with what the best creative will be to show. But again, merge layer is mainly for engagement and playtime and retention, and not only for the creative side.
Do you guys help with graphics and creatives? In the prototyping phase, we don't. You test your own creatives. We do give feedback if the game shows potential. Once we move to iteration phase, as I mentioned earlier, a Slack channel will be opened. You will have a game designer and people from our motion design team, and they will be helping you during there with your creatives. And how does a game qualify to go to iterations? Basically, the marketability score plays a huge role. The KPIs, once we feel that the game is ready to be iterated, that it's strong enough, that we're already creating progression and we have a depth in the game, then we move to iteration phase. What do we have?
Yeah.
So many.
So if someone played the runner, and then you had the merge layer, again, how long should it be good enough? So again, this is general questions that we see that, again, don't force a merge layer. I mean, make sure that it works with the game, that you have the runner part, and then the merge makes sense. And one of the reasons why we push for merge, because merge is very simple to understand. You just show him how to merge your item once, and like it's very easy and engaging mechanic that can work. So like again, it's all about the simplicity in hyper casual. A runner is simple, swerving, merging is also simple. But again, make sure that they work together in the game.
Are the PPI bonuses only for the games that follow the formula? No, any game that you submitted during the promotion period and started your test will be eligible for the payment per iteration. However, the bonus that we offer will be only eligible for the ones who actually follow the formula. Another question is someone who submitted their test a week ago, and they're asking if they start the test after the promotion, will it be eligible or not? No, the game needs to be submitted to the platform within the promotion period, which is from 3rd of July till August 3rd. Oh, you can do this.
Yeah, I mean, we don't look at retention day 7. We mainly look at retention day 1. We look at the first KPIs, CPI, marketability. Then we look at first engagement, day 1 retention, playtime. We don't look that far at the beginning, and we just need to know that we have something that we can work with and start iterations. So we don't look day 7. We don't look above day 1 or day 2 in the KPIs.
And another question is, how can we join your dashboard? You can submit your game through our website, submit your game. Our publishing team will be reviewing it, and after that, you'll be receiving an access to our platform, and then you can submit your games through there for the promotion.
Yeah, I mean, can we submit games that are trending by other publishers? Again, it depends on the game. Look at top charts. We always consult with us before you submit the game. Maybe we'll have some tips that we can offer you. But again, if this is something trending, maybe it's worth trying, but always try to consult with us and ask before you submit the game. Maybe we'll have other tips that we can share with you on the specific games or specific genres.
If a prototype passes the first step and moves to iteration, what support will Supersonic team provide, especially to solo developers? As we mentioned before, like once we move to iteration phase, you meet with rest of the Supersonic family. You will have a publishing manager, you will have our game design team, you will have our motion design team helping you in all aspects, so you'll be covered. All of us will be there to support you with all of your needs, and we'll want to make sure that we'll publish your game.
Yeah, and one general comment is like, we give the formulas in order to help you focus on what's trending, what can work. But again, if you don't know how to make the merge or sampling error, we're always here to help you. But again, don't force yourself just on the formula because we said so. We want you to focus on the formula to see this works on other games that we work on game on iterations, on games that we published or other published that we showed examples. So it's more to give you a focus on something that we know is engaging and works, but this is just tips for something that works, but don't force yourself if you don't know how to make it.
Can we rejoin the formula by renewing our previously tested games? If you actually use the right genre and you match with the right mechanic and game shows potential, yes, you can submit your game again.
Yeah, I think let's answer 1 or 2 more questions.
Okay, perfect. What else? Can we upload the game to Google Play before the contest starts? Yes, you can. The only thing is you need to submit the game to the platform within the submission period, and your test needs to go live within the timeline. Okay, you want to take one last question and what we can do?
No, it's the general thing. We can sum it up.
Let's check. Okay, I will answer one last question, I think. The last question, we'll take this one. Do you have any other communication methods like Discord or Slack? In the beginning, we communicate with our developers through the platform. You can reach us through the chat bubble. And once we move to iteration phase, yes, we have the option to move with Slack. We use there. And I think that's it from us for today. Yeah. Thanks for joining the Super Monday, guys. We'll get all of your unanswered questions on our Instagram page, so follow us. Also follow us there and catch even more insights on our website under the Learn Hub at supersonic.com. And look at soon for even more of our upcoming contests.
Thank you. Good luck.